When you're working on any stroke, especially your serve, you want to go a little bit at a time. So pick a couple of things at a time and then concentrate on those. So today, I want you to think about two things that you might be doing that might be ruining your serve. One is your backswing might be going a little too fast and not really letting you accelerate at the end, and also getting you out of balance. And the other thing is that your hips are not stopping in time so that the momentum can be transferred from the hips to the shoulders. And both things have to do with one another. So let's talk about the first thing, your backswing going too fast. And to me, it makes sense because the serve is one of the most stressful strokes in tennis. Number one, because all the attention is on you. Everybody's kind of waiting for you to serve. And the ball is not really coming to you, so you have sometimes a little too much time in your hands. So knowing that, the usual response when we don't want to be in a place is to want to try to get out of that place quickly. So that response to me mentally makes a lot of sense, because when you don't want to be somewhere, you can't wait to get out of there. So if you can think of your serve as an advantage, as a stroke where your opponent has to wait for you and you have as much time as you want, as long as you don't go over the allotted time, then it makes things a lot easier. And also when you realize that the reason why you might be going too fast is because you don't want to be there, then you're going to be a lot more enticed to going a little bit slower in the beginning. Any stroke in tennis has to go slow in the beginning and build up the speed towards the end. So like I was saying in the beginning, when you accelerate the back motion, you throw yourself off. You don't really realize what's happening with the body weight. You're basically just concentrating on your arm and the fact that you gotta go for the ball. So my suggestion to you is to take things very slow and maybe time it with your breathing. Let's take a big, deep breath in the beginning, slow. And then ideally, when the racket is over here and you're starting to lift up, that's when you need to start considering gradually accelerating. So slow in the beginning, when you can feel that your legs are starting to push against the ground, and right at the moment when you feel like the tip of the racket is starting to go up, that's when you need to think about gradually accelerating. So slow and fast. The second thing that I mentioned was that maybe your hips are not slowing down in time to allow the upper body to rotate. So when you think about the fact that we have forces coming from the ground, coming from your feet and going to your hips and going to your upper body, each part needs to basically hand the energy to the next part. So sometimes what happens is the person does everything correct up until this point, and then the hip gets a little too excited and keeps going when it hasn't even given the arm the chance to start. So think of it as a distribution of energy. Your legs are gonna give the energy to the hips, and the hips have to give the energy to your arms and your upper body. So over here. So at the very end, it needs to feel like every single part of your body, it's behind your hands and it's supporting. Once your hands get in front, you need to try to push your hands as if you were a train, as if your engine was in the front and the wagons are going forward. Keep practicing your serve and keep watching for those two things that are very common. So ideally, like I said in my last video, when you record yourself, you want to try to do it in about 120 frames per second so that you can see what's going on and do it from different angles. I hope that helps.